All right. What's up, everybody?
We
have a brand new set here for episode 4. We just kind of flipped everything around, made it work, made it look nice. But now that we have actual arms, it's way nicer. Now it's like even more comfortable than
I love
before.
having actual arms. They've been fake for so long.
Yeah. Those tentacle shoopy loopy things just really don't do it for you.
Yeah, not even like bare arms.
Yeah,
just like just arms in general. I wish it was bare arms. Just just go maul someone.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So I am Lee, and today I am joined by, we have Eddie, also known as Lord's Beardsley.
Yep.
Matt.
Yes, sir.
Matt.
How's it going, guys?
And Alex.
And it's me.
Yeah.
Woo!
So
Gang's all here.
episode 4, pretty much, this one, the meat of this one's going to be PAX, but we'll do some weak stuff first. So, Eddie, what'd you do?
I played through, this week on What Did I Play Through the Stupid Xbox Game Pass, I played Gears of War 4 and did not like it.
That was solid hard pass.
Yeah, it was, you know what it is? The gameplay always improves, but the quality of the game somehow goes down, and I just don't quite understand it. But, like, because, again, the way the game handles, like, if you ever played any Gears of War before, like, it's fine. It's really good, but man, their storytelling is just so all over the place, and they have like that. I think they're trying to get over it where they had like that Halo syndrome of like, oh no, you got to read the books and the comics and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, if you read that, it's great, but if you didn't, you're kind of like lost a little bit.
Dead in the water.
Well, not everyone wants to read the books.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I can see that because I think I played a little bit of 4.
Yeah,
and it's like after 3, I feel.
Yeah, I was
when you
going to
had
say
the other
in
between games or whatever.
Oh yeah, like Judgment.
Like you go into it and it just doesn't feel like you're like, I'm just killing dudes.
Yeah,
like I don't really care.
Yeah,
no meaning.
Yeah, aside from that, it was it wasn't horrible, but it kind of felt a little lackluster. Again, kind of like that Gears Judgment sort of feeling where it's like, man. I mean, this has probably all been beaten to death already because it's an older game now, but it's new to me.
What it is it's almost like some of these ones, like in Halo 2, with Infinite, is like it's more like just keep the multiplayer alive.
Yeah,
is what it feels like, because that's where like the real cash cow is, and it's pretty disappointing because like Infinite's multiplayer is kind of falling apart.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks because like when it came out, I was super excited and like I was playing ranked a whole bunch, and like I got into platinum and I was about halfway through platinum, and I just kind of like, all right, and then I just never played it again. Yeah,
I think player retention with those kind of games is a lot harder now. Like it's a bigger deal for like a lot of like the free to plays and stuff because it's like that's how they get you. The more you play, the more likely you are to buy stuff. But with a lot of these kind of like older school deathmatchy kind of games, it's like, how do they keep you lured in long enough? Most of us are like, we'll play for an hour. But like in the modern world where it's like, oh no, they want you to play for 3. It's like, how are they going to get you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, like, let's be real. Halo had a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah.
The way the challenge system worked for the battle passes was awful. The way it just, like, the playlists work. It was a nightmare. The playlist system and the battle pass and everything.
The limited maps, the fact that it launched without stuff like Forge and Firefight, which for me is a kind of co-op-y sort of player.
Oh yeah, same.
That hurt a lot.
But like when I heard there was no, we'll call it multiplayer, just versus and solo campaign. I'm like, I don't even want to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, and let's keep in mind, co-op for the story mode isn't coming for like another couple weeks.
Yeah,
like they said May, if it even comes in May.
Right.
Which is kind of disappointing, but that's just how it goes. So
yeah. I mean, again, I appreciate the fact they launched it more or less bug free. But I mean, it still had its problems, but it wasn't like a Cyberpunk launch.
It was playable.
It was playable on release. And, to their credit, they were kind of aware that, like, the multiplayer is kind of limited, so here it is for free. You just pay for the campaign, which is, I think, fair, but that doesn't necessarily mean, like, that's good. It just means, okay, it's okay value, but it's not necessarily what I want to play. Stylistically, though, I think they nailed it.
Yeah, no, like, those games are, like, it honestly feels like, no, this is just keep the multiplayer going.
Yeah.
Because, like, multiplayer and then, like, the Horde mode, and then, was it 5 had that one where it was, like, reverse, where it's, like, you go into the Hive to blow it up, and then
Hivebusters, I think. Yeah.
That one was really fun.
Yeah.
Like, that was really fun.
No, and if you put that on, like, the hardest mode, like, I tried it, I think, with our buddy Jaron, and we're playing that, I'm like, oh, this is so easy. I'm like, let's just put it all the way up and get some extra points. didn't happen. We just like walked in, got sniped, and we're like, yeah,
Never mind.
I think I'm gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna go to bed. It's just like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the next one I'm going to play.
I don't know if me and you ever did that. Did we, Eddie? Did we ever play that?
No, I think we cleared all the way up to 3, I think.
Yeah, because we've gone through like.
And then
all
we
the old
we,
ones
we
with
pretty much
co-op.
played 3 Horde until we like beat it.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
to wave 50 or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that takes forever.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's definitely more of like a slog near the end. But yeah, so that was more or less it. I did a little bit of I own a 99 Bonneville and it's got some mechanical problems, so I've been trying to track those down a little bit because I'd really like to get it rolling. I like it, it's the for those who are in the know, it's an SSEI, so it's got the Series 2 supercharger in it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's not fast by any modern standard. I
But
think
it's
it's like
cool.
240 horse, but yeah, it is kind of cool.
yeah.
I mean, it's supercharger is supercharger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
It's
cool
fun, and it's
regardless.
got the little boost gauge. That like, dude, if every car just had like a little gauge that went up when you put more foot in it, it's like, oh, dude, this is awesome.
Oh, it definitely is.
Now cars like do the
You know.
opposite because they have like the miles per gallon rating, so you're just watching it
You
plummet.
watch it
You're like,
go down.
"Oh,
No.
man,
You can
What
have
happens-
both with a Subaru.
this is
Yeah,
true."
yeah, yeah. And when one goes up, the other,
The other
one
one
goes
goes
down. And when the other one goes up, the first one goes down.
Exactly.
And you're like, either way, you feel like you're winning.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
Yeah, so how fast can I burn the gas, or how high can I get?
right,
Yeah,
right.
jeez.
Yep. So,
How far can I make it on a tank?
Does
oh,
it?
Bowser.
Bowser, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, but that was more or less my week. Sorry if I monopolized it with the Halo tangent, but
No, it's all good.
how about you guys?
Alex,
Alex?
chat.
So this week, and more busyness at work. Still very addicted to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Beat some more bosses. Did a little. I think I killed a few people online. That was funny.
Nice.
It was an embarrassment to them, and that was the point.
Was it like they invaded you, or did you like go in and humiliate
Yes.
them? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. One guy I just one-shotted, just dead.
Oh,
But
no.
I went to the blacksmith, upgraded my weapon to plus 24 out of 25, so I'm only missing one
okay.
item. And it's for anybody that's playing, it's the giant crusher. Just two-hand that thing into people, and they're just done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people playing their little dexterity mage builds. They're like, well, I don't have more than 1,200 health. I'm like, well, I hit you for 15.
Nice.
No, that happens a lot.
Delete.
It's fun.
Good.
Yep.
That's where it's at.
I just got the bike out today again. There was a couple of maiden voyages. It's a little leaky. There's a little oil leak. I think it's just the filter just sitting so long. It's gas is probably bad, but
Right on.
we'll see. We'll fix that up soon and ride some more.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. So I got our mascot up and running this week. It
Yes.
starts, it runs. Now I'm going through the cooling system and doing all that stuff, but just waiting for parts right now. But yeah, it runs, it starts. Always another project to do on it, but
I was going to say, for reference, when it comes to fixing the Burb, I would say about 25% of it is actual mechanical time, and 75% of it is waiting on parts.
oh yeah,
Well, that's just the
Definitely.
nature of the world
it's
now.
terrible. Yeah, it takes forever to get stuff now. Even like tools to do stuff is brutal. It's brutal no matter what. Like
Oh, yeah, he's got an arsenal.
Yeah.
When it comes to tools, he's got an armory.
Yeah.
it's getting there.
Yep. But there's always something else to buy, That's the magic of it.
Yep.
Yeah, oh,
Matt's
yeah.
just like, you can't take Matt to Home Depot or whatever. without him spending a
Home Depot
paycheck.
or Harbor Freight.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing.
Hey, you know what? At least it's not like the Snap-on truck.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
You mean the bill collector, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the,
the
Bill
collector.
collector.
that's what I
Yeah.
say. Oh shit, get the bill collector's coming.
Harbor Freight has like a competitor, so to speak, for that high end tool truck stuff called Icon, and I get a lot of that stuff, and it's really nice.
I hear that stuff's actually really good. Yeah.
yeah, it's really good.
Hey, you know what? If it comes with like a warranty, and you get a warranty, and oh no, it broke. All right, I'm just gonna go get another one.
I have used it. It is so easy. You literally just bring the broken thing in, give it to them, and they just give you a new one. It's not
Nice.
a pain in the ass. Nothing like that. It's easy.
Warranty's a warranty, and as long as they're willing to uphold it, all right, yeah, sure, I'll buy the cheap stuff.
Yeah, the easier it is to uphold, the better. Because sometimes you'll
Yeah.
get those warranties where it's like, oh yeah, they cover everything, but you have to like provide photographic evidence and package it and mail it, and
Yeah, it's a real pain, especially you get ordering stuff
like
online.
what is that? Monster Cables is like infamous for that, right? They used to be. You had to like cut the cable or something in order for them to like take it back.
And then I think they caught on to people doing that. And I remember I tried to take some monster cables back, and they wouldn't take them. They were like, you have to go to the company, or
Really?
whatever you would normally do that would be a pain,
Oh,
or any
wow.
other warranty type thing. It just became that after a while.
Shoot.
Actually, speaking of that, I think I bought like a small sandblaster or something from Harbor Freight one day, and it was one of those like I wanted it for a one-off project. Didn't really need it, and I just took it back and I said, "Oh, I just didn't like it." They're like, "Oh, did you use it?" I'm like, "Yep." And they're like, "So do you want like store credit or anything?" I'm like, "No, just give me cash." And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And so they don't even care. They'll just take it anything.
Yeah, that's good.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
Right on.
it's like tool rental.
Yeah, that's even better. It's just free
Yeah.
tools.
So how about you? What have you been up to this week?
So this week was pretty busy. I had a short week at work, so I stayed busy, and then was just kind of busting ass on stuff. Played a bunch of games.
Oh, yeah?
So I ended up going to PAX East this week, but pre-PAX, I dug into Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon.
Okay.
Like, I don't... I really want to get more into Elden Ring and play more time in Elden Ring, but like I'm constantly at this point now between editing and everything like that, or like come home, go work out at the gym, come back and everything like that. And then by the time I get to sit down, it's like I've got like an hour. And like that's not enough time to get into Elden Ring. And if I boot up Elden Ring, like I'm gonna be there for 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
So
For sure.
yeah, like you can't just boot up Elden Ring and not play 4 hours.
True that.
So dug into Pocket Dungeon. That's a lot of fun. That's the same people who did Cryptonecker Dancer and Cadence of Hyrule.
Okay.
But they did like a thing with the Shovel Knight guys over at Yacht Club, and it's kind of like this like little top down, and you have like I want to say roughly a checkerboard size board of square like amount of squares. And as you move between them, everything's falling down, and then you have to beat everything.
So is it more like a puzzle game, or
it is a puzzle game?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But stuff will fall down, and like this checkerboard, it comes down. Like every time you move, everything moves down one square.
Oh.
But if it's touching, like a matching thing, like every time you attack it, or if it's like a block, like a piece of rock or whatever, every time you do it, it'll actually chain the damage all the way through. So you end up having this meter on the bottom that's like like a gem meter for like how much money you make, and the higher that meter is based off of how much stuff you're destroying and how fast you're destroying it. So you have to like chain everything, and then like you get power ups and you get all kinds of stuff. Like you'll get weapons that do more damage or have range. Like they'll attack 2 spots instead of just 1, and like fun time, fun time. It will definitely kick your ass if you're not ready though.
Oh, okay.
Like no remorse. If you're not ready, and you know what? That's the exact same with Cadence of Hyrule and Cryptonecker Dancer. Because those are, as you guys have ever played Cryptonecker Dancer, it's everything's based on like a grid, but it's procedurally generated. So it's like a roguelike. And it plays music, and it literally has a little meter on the bottom, and you have to do everything to the beat. And like when you get into bosses, the beat speeds up or slows down or whatever.
Right.
And it just kind of like, in those games, in those two, it's more like your multiplier and everything's based off of how long you've held it for. And it's just a good time. It's one of those where like, if you don't have rhythm, good luck. Like, in Pocket Dungeon, it's not so much about the rhythm.
Right.
It's just like the same style, like that whole idea behind it. But yeah, like, Cryptonecker Dancer and Cadence of Hyrule. If you guys haven't played those, I highly recommend those games. Those games are excellent.
I think I have the Necro Dancer in my library, but I haven't actually tried it yet, so I'll definitely give that a playthrough.
Yeah, I mean, they had physical copies of it.
Oh, no
PAX.
crap. Wow.
So, and the other big thing I did this week was PAX East.
Right.
So I took the first 2 days of PAX off because PAX was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this year.
Wow.
That's
kind of wish we all would have went and stayed down at like the Westin or something like that. Would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot of fun to do all of us down there the whole weekend because there was a lot of cool stuff going on. Obviously, you're walking around, and like among others, me and Jeremy we stayed late for the Mega 64 panel at 8:00 last night. And of all the people we ran into, we actually met the dude who runs Meat Canyon on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
He was not expecting that guy to be as quiet as he is. Like quiet, introverted, more of an artist. I mean, it could have just been because like late at night, I don't know, whatever it was. But
yeah,
like,
whatever else he'd been doing during the day.
But yeah, like literally, like that dude was kind of quiet. He was only like a couple years older than Joey. So,
oh wow!
Holy crap!
But yeah, I mean, for someone who's like pulling in like 1 million views a month, like he's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it, and it's
yeah.
Like,
if you ever just want to feel uncomfortable watching a video, just fire up like literally any Meat Canyon cartoon. It's great. It's just that morbid humor, and I love it.
It's exactly what I expect from somebody who's called Meat Canyon.
Yeah, right. Right. Like, what else is there?
Like if it was like Burger Basket too, or something, something like meat item, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the best part is he takes a lot of this crazy stuff that goes on YouTube and then kind of twists it to make it go a little crazier. It's like he did the one a while ago on Mr. Beast where it's like you got the dude dying in the hospital bed and it's like, well, we can pay your hospital bills or you can get a free Tesla. And the dude's like crawling around the ground like, oh, I want the Tesla. Oh, man. Like, that's just out of control, but it's funny.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool to actually meet that guy.
Nice.
Like, not what I expected.
Did you just like bump into him, or was he like a panel, or?
We were sitting in the panel, and the dude walks by and sits like we were on the edge of a row, or there was an aisle between us, and the dude just walks by and sits next to us, and like there's this girl behind us. She's like, "Yo, that's Meat Canyon."
Oh,
and he kind of turned around like it was one of those. Was like, "Oh shit, they recognized me."
Right. Yeah, I just got name dropped.
Yeah, and like it was like, yo, what up? We like your stuff, and just kind of let it be, you know.
Yeah.
And then like chatted with him a little bit as we were walking out, which was cool.
Nice.
But yeah, like that was pretty cool to meet that, and then obviously, you know, you had Mega 64 there, chatting with Mega 64 guys. Like I was saying to them, I was like, I'm so disappointed. I just moved back from Vegas and Cali, and I never got to go to game days before they had to stop because of COVID. Right. And that's like their own personal convention thing where they do a day at like a hotel or like a convention center, and then like the day after they actually go to Disney or like California Adventure for the day with like everyone.
Wow.
Which is really cool. And a couple of years ago they did like their convention thing, and then after their convention thing ended for the day, they actually had a Super Awesome Showdown, do like a whole show for it. And Super Awesome Showdown is like one of those like little like independent wrestling groups.
Oh, awesome.
So like, you know, like Home Pro, backyard wrestling, stuff like that, only like actually organized. And like that's rad. I wish I could have gone to that. And then they do that. Cool. So yeah, it was pretty cool seeing those guys again. And then obviously, you know, we got out onto the floor, spent some time. I went Thursday. I ended up going by myself because this is the only one there. And then Jeremy got off of quarantine yesterday, so we went yesterday.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, his mom ended up getting COVID. So
gotcha.
Wonderful time. So yeah, wandering around, there was hella cool stuff. Like, and then obviously spent a bunch of stupid money.
Yeah, right.
Like you can't not.
Yeah. Like
it's actually why I tend to stay away from those things. I'm like, oh, I know, like if whatever cash is in my pocket is gonna be freaking gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, it's like I was walking around. And I was like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm gonna get the store, like this merch from the store, the convention store. Yep. I was like, I don't know what else I'm gonna get. And then I was actually walking by, and then the people who do Cryptonecker Dancer had a booth. Oh, and they had the physical editions, and then next to the physical editions, they had like this like really nice shadow box. And I was like, where the hell did you get that? And then the girl's like, right over there, Artivision. And I walk over to Artivision. It's like $150 for each one. And I bought a picture of Samus running across the bridge in Meridia.
Oh,
like
nice.
One you have to blow up with the super bomb.
Yeah.
That one's really cool. So I have that. I'll post some pictures of that later. And that just kind of started. It just spiraled out of control.
Well, once you buy that one item where you're like, I don't know, then you just don't care.
Well, it's like at PAX, it's like you got to buy something to open the floodgates.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
You don't
spend
really
the money
know
on
what,
the first thing, and then it's just like, okay, well, I've already spent money on this, so like this isn't that weird, right? Like just buy it.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, all right, here we go, boys.
Yeah.
So obviously, proceeded to wander around, just like. So much cool stuff. It was pretty small. I won't lie. Like, it was actually pretty small this year. I was kind of disappointed with how small it was.
Was it the convention center? The regular convention center?
Yeah, it was at BCEC. But with COVID and everything like that. And then, it required vaccines, required masks. And, of course, like, they're trying to get around that. They're like, well, due to local laws and ordinances, it's like, dude, that shit's been gone for, like, 6 months in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
They're just really trying to cover their ass.
Well, they're just trying to. They made the call, and then it was too late to change it and everything. And the thing that kills me is like they should have just came out and just been like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. Because as you're walking around, and like it was really iffy playing demos because it was just like I don't know if I really want to play it. Only because like you see this and you see lines of people. And you're like, oh man, that game looks really sweet. I really want to play it. But then you kind of look at it and it's like, they're not wiping down the
Yeah,
controllers
you have to think,
or
like,
anything.
if you see
in
100
between.
people in a line, that means 100 other people have touched that controller before you after wiping their nose. And,
and you don't know who's done what or been where. So it was kind of iffy.
There's gonna be at least 5 people that are nasty.
Yeah.
At least.
Sure.
At least.
Oh, yeah. That's,
Yeah, at least it wasn't. At least there wasn't anything going on like Discord when Discord first went there and they were handing out sticks of deodorant to everyone.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean that was funny, but yeah,
That's pretty telling, though.
Yeah, dude, it's a video game convention. What do you expect?
It's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they get that con funk and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Con funk, you end up getting sick. You get the con crud, just like
Con crud.
Con crud,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, it's just because you get something from someone. Because
Is that like you become a conquistador instead of a conquistador?
Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of got to pick all the flakes off. Like, get ready.
Oh, God, yeah, it is.
Just like cosplay.
Having
is
volunteered at a couple conventions, yeah, it's.
Yeah. It was just kind of disappointing that it's like, yeah, hey, do this. And then it's just like, you just kind of look at it and you're like, well, is there at least hand sanitizer everywhere? No.
Yeah, nope.
No. Like, there wasn't stuff everywhere. Like, they weren't handing out wipes or anything. It was like, dude, you guys should be doing this constantly. But I get it. Like, I don't know what the total count was, but I definitely want to say there's probably like 50,000 people through there.
Right.
Yep.
This weekend. But yeah, walking around, like my next major stop of all the places was Limited Run Games.
Oh, okay.
So, Limited Run Games for you guys is like, it's a small little company, third party, and like they'll take games, whether it be out of print games, indie games, whatever it may be, and they make actual physical copies. And I've got a stack right in front of us here that I got. And they do some cool stuff. They didn't do the Cryptonecker Dancer. That was put on by someone else. And then the other one, I got another one called Tanuki Justice, which is put on by a shop in New York.
Okay.
I'll get around to that one. I'll just start with that one. It's made by a small studio in Europe, and like this place in New York called Video Games New York, so VGNY. They do kind of like the limited run thing where they print it and then they do like actual serialized copies. Like the case is actually serialized. Like I have like one of 1,500 copies of the game.
Nice.
Pretty sweet.
So I didn't know anything about that, but it was looking good. I was like, well, there's no real demos anywhere. So I was like, well, what's here? And then like I kind of looked it up on Steam and it was like, Steam said 88% positive, and then reviews on like Metacritic said 7 out of 10. So I was like, all right, I'll buy it. I'll buy it for $30. But yeah, so there's that. But then limited run games. So limited run games is like, that's one of those money pits like you just want to stay away from.
Right.
Yeah.
They had so much stuff there, and like they reprinted a bunch of stuff, and like I was like trying so hard to not spend my paycheck at limited run games. Like it's one of those. But I ended up walking away with Turok from the 64.
Oh, dude.
And
that's awesome.
they remade it in a Nintendo 64 themed box.
Oh,
I
Like,
noticed that when I picked
Switch.
it up earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, so Turok from the 64, and everything I got from Limited Run was on Switch. They had PS4 also, but pretty much I just bought
Right.
Switch games. Most of them are like indie or older stuff anyway. So bought that because that's, it's Turok.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got River City Girls, which I don't know if you guys
Oh,
have
yeah.
played that one.
Nope, I've played that one.
That's an excellent like side scrolling beat 'em up, kind of like Streets of Rage, River City Ranch.
Yeah,
and all
especially
those.
2-player. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
the way to play it.
Yeah, but they did that in an NES style themed box.
Oh,
wow.
cool.
Yeah, so that's
That's
really
pretty
cool.
sweet.
So I got that, and then I got a stack of indie and smaller games. Like I got Golf Story. Golf Story is an excellent game. If you guys,
I'm definitely
haven't
gonna be
played
playing that later.
that. Yeah,
Definitely gonna play
So that's like Mario Golf on like the NES,
Right.
like that kind of style, like top down. But the whole time as you're doing this, it's actually like a little indie RPG. So like when you play around a golf, like you get experience, or they'll be like, "Hey, do this challenge, chip it into the hole, or chip it into the circle, get these points and everything like that." And it's really cool. It's an excellent game. That's another thing that I've spent a lot of time on this week. It's just fun, and it's one of those ones when the music turns on, you just kind of sit on the couch and chill and enjoy yourself for a while.
Yeah, no joke. Like those kind of golfing games, as stupid as it sounds, like my buddy Matt, not you,
Yep.
has a copy for the PlayStation 4 of something called Everybody's Golf, which is basically just
yeah.
Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah,
And like, dude, just that like 2-player gets so like that's just a blast. It's really a lot of fun, like just to like trash talk each other. It's like playing Worms or something. Like it's just,
yeah.
Well, it's like the new Mario Golf, the speed mode.
You're right.
Where you got to run through on the Switch. That's such a friggin' good party game.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, who can golf the fastest? And then like you're getting like Mario Kart style items to mess with.
Right.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun. So I got that. And then among others, I got one that we talked about a little while ago.
Oh?
A Podracer.
Oh,
They have a Podracer from the 64 on Switch. So I got that. I love that game.
It looks like we're going to have to maybe crack some of those open later.
I still have that.
They're getting cracked.
Like the actual N64 one, I still have that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
That's awesome.
I got it. Okay, so I found all my old systems going through my stuff. I didn't find the N64, so I don't know where it is, but I know I have it.
See, now,
I want to like see that because I have a bunch of games. I have all the stuff from it. I have like the brochures from PlayStation.
That's so awesome.
see, like you guys should have said something when I asked you. Is like, do you guys want anything from PAX? Because I was there, and like there was a couple booths selling like hardware and stuff like that.
Well, the thing is, like, I've never actually been to PAX, so I don't really know what's on offer.
Next year we should all
merch
go.
and stuff. Yeah, no. Like, trust me. Like, we need to go. We need to do this. Like, I think on the topic of Mega 64, like going to the panel, I think that'd be the coolest shit ever. Is if we had enough of a following to actually go to a panel. Like live, do like a recording live from PAX. That'd be the coolest shit in the world.
That would be
Yeah, it
pretty
would be
neat.
pretty fun.
It's like, people know us at that point. So I don't know. We'll figure that out in the future.
Yeah, we just have to level up our interesting stats so we can like
it's charisma.
Charisma. You're right.
We gotta get that Bard over here.
Yeah,
We're gonna need a lot of buffs.
We need a party face because Barbarian here just ain't doing the talking.
Well, no, you are doing the talking.
I mean, first I rage and then I talk.
I mean, on the split when I'm editing, it's you and me talking the most. So don't feel bad. We just gotta get you cracked open.
Oh boy, charisma Barbarian. How about that?
Charisma Barbarian.
Yeah,
Like-
Barbarian.
Have like your barbarian with like 2 strength, but like 60 charisma.
Yeah. Like you just like surpass the human limits of charisma.
I mean, would you just like look at that guy and be like, "That's a cool dude"? Like that's it. Like you don't have to do anything. You just pass, like 100% pass, no matter.
It doesn't
what
matter what you're wearing,
just-
what you look like. It's just there's an aura.
Yeah.
Even the dragons are like, "All right, that's cool. That's cool." Yeah, like
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like the same thing. Like if I just saw like, someone knocks on your door and you open it up and it's like Master Chief and it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to stop you, dude. You can like break my spine in like 5 different places. Just do what you got to do and leave. Yeah. What's going on, man?
Like I'm pretty sure I'm glad you're a good guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't know. Maybe you're some kind of horrific alien and you just don't know it. Like the Thing, and he's just gonna break you in 8 places. That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, another tangent.
No, it's all good. So, and then off the back of Podracer, they had Republic Commando.
Dude! Oh yeah,
couple of good ones.
Oh my god.
That's such a fun one.
That game rocks.
Let's be real. That's like a 6-7 out of 10 game.
Oh yeah.
From like, was that Xbox or was that like
It was the
360?
Xbox era. It was like post Halo 2 Xbox era.
Yeah, like awesome game. Like
Yeah.
it did some cool things for what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that game was really cool. So I got that. And then there's a couple more, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Republic Commando, Tanuki Justice. Oh, Panzer Dragoon.
Nice.
That was a
So
good one. Yep.
that's like a pocket pick. If
Like
you guys
the
actually-
classic or the one for the
The
Xbox?
classic.
Oh, awesome.
the classic. So like
That's
the
cool.
real pocket pick. And that's kind of pretty much what I got from there outside of the board game here. But dude, limited run, they had so many things. Like they had Shantae. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Shantae, like that old
the
side scroller.
Yeah, Way Forward, I think, is the developer.
Yeah, well, there's a whole bunch of them. They had like the entirety of the series in like limited edition, like Game Boy Advance style boxes. But that's where Shantae came around, was on the Game Boy
Right. Yeah,
Advance.
I was gonna say, I think the first one was a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah. So like that's cool. They have that stuff, and they had, dude, I don't know how many other games. Like they had Episode 1 Racer Revenge, which was like the remake of it that they did for the PS4. They had that in print. They had Blazing Chrome on PS4.
Whoa.
I didn't get that one, and I didn't see it until after at the end of the day, and I was like, I've already spent enough money at this point. It's too late now. But they had that. They had Super Meat Boy, like all of these crazy good games. And that's what Limited Run Games does.
Right.
So you just got to look and watch and see what they have. But yeah, and then after that, it was just kind of like looking around, wandering. The only other thing I purchased was this board game I have down here in the front called Dragoon. So that's like a little smaller board game company, and we kind of got like a little demo of it. It's like Catan, right?
Yeah.
Only you play dragons, and the objective is rather than like getting materials, you're only getting one material, and it's just gold. You're just trying to
right, trying to build a horde.
Yeah, it's like the first one to get 50 pieces of gold, but you can like actively steal gold and everything from each other, and then like the settlements, you can destroy them.
Oh, cool.
So there's like all kinds of other things going on at the same time. It was like real fun. Real fun just playing a little demo of it and everything. It was like, all right, well, we're going to play this. We're definitely going to get this and play this. And there's like a couple expansions to it, and we'll get that in the future. Because that's going to be a fun one. I know that's going to be a fun one. I know we don't really record our tabletop games because it's kind of a pain to do all that.
I can't speak for everybody else's experience, but yeah, I play a lot of tabletop games. So that's awesome.
It's very hard to record if you don't have like a pro studio, like Critical Role or something like that all around you doing that stuff. And
yeah, you need like however many camera angles, and again, these nice
everybody's
mics.
hands, the table.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
ideally
tough.
we have like 2 couches and like a V, or like a desk, like 2 desks and a V, and then we have 2 cameras and like 1 camera. Yeah, well, you know what? That's way far down the line budget.
Yeah,
we have to have
no,
someone who can man that. We don't have any of that, so that's a long ways away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like there's all that cool stuff there. We saw all kinds of other board games that were really cool. I mean, speaking of tabletop games too, Wormwood had 2 booths. Like Wormwood Gaming, like, you know, they do those crazy tables that are like 15,000.
Yeah.
You see in Critical Role. They had that, and they had a booth just for their dice stuff now.
Oh yeah, their stuff is so expensive.
Yeah,
for stuff that's probably cranked out on like a milling machine at this point.
a
dice box. Like it has a couple magnets and it's made out of babinga.
Babinga.
Yeah,
and it's just like $95. You're like, nope.
You're like, that didn't even take 15 minutes to make in machines. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can go to the wood store, bring it home, and make it in the wood shop that's in the basement.
Yeah. I mean, their stuff's cool. Like, the tables are really cool, but like, I'll be damned if I'm paying that kind of money for just a table and no chairs.
Right.
Like, it's, you know. So there's that. And then pretty much ran around just looking at demos and stuff and seeing what's going on. Like, there's hella demos, obviously. It's PAX.
Right.
Hella cool stuff.
Yeah, and we mentioned it some episode ago. There wasn't an E3, so probably a lot of people saved their stuff for PAX instead.
Yeah. There was only one really big studio there, and that was Gearbox.
Oh, really?
And Gearbox was just showing off Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and then a couple other ones. Like, they're doing like a new version of Godfall, like a special edition, Game of the Year edition, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then what's their like RTS top down style RPG one, like the Norse mythology one? That one they were showing off, which has been out for a while. They're just showing off the newest season there. But that was pretty much it outside of like that stuff. Like Devolver had a booth and Tiny Build had a booth, and they both had cool stuff.
Yeah.
Tiny Build had that new one where it's like spiders. That one looked really cool. And there's like another, like a Tiny Man one that's going on that looked kind of like a Pikmin.
Nice.
I didn't really play anything at Tiny Build.
Yeah, for those not in the know, like I know a while ago we mentioned like, Devolver Games. If you like indie games, you're going to love everything they do. Tiny Build is another one of those kind of companies. They just specialize in that thing, and they crank out some really good material.
Which they were showing off that they have a Hello Neighbor 2 coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that that's my cup of tea.
No, but I mean, it's good to see them getting that kind of success, you know?
Yeah, no,
I know
awesome.
That's a really popular game, so.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Tiny Build, but they've done a lot of good games that I really enjoy. Like, what is it? No Time to Explain.
Yes,
that one's really fun.
That's like the little guy on their company logo, isn't it? The guy from No Time to Explain.
And you're platforming with a giant laser.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's how you jump, is using the laser.
Yep.
Yeah, there's that one, and there's Cluster Truck. I love Cluster Truck.
Oh, yeah, Cluster Truck's a classic.
You know, you're jumping across all these box trucks as they go through portals.
Yeah, just watching them tumble around. Yeah.
Physics-based, and then when you're playing it on Twitch, like Twitch chat can affect it, so they put on like moon gravity or double gravity.
I will say, I very rarely have I played a game where like it has those kind of physics and it's bad. Because it's like, if those physics are in it, you're going to find something to have fun with.
Well, those games are always so much fun when you get into like Twitch integration, when you have a crowd.
Yes, but people start messing with you, or if you're like a watcher, like someone like me, it'd be like, oh yeah, you're messing with people. It's like, this is kind of cool.
You'd be super devious and maniacal.
Another one, I mean, not physics related, but another game that lets you mess with people like that is Noida.
Yeah.
Where they do that integration, and you could just like screw someone over by like, oh yeah, well, here's an ocean of oil. Have fun.
Yeah. So as we you know, we're going to use that as a pivot. Devolver. Devolver actually had a big booth for all of their stuff, but they had a specific section just for Dead Cells. And they were doing a tournament for Dead Cells, being, hey, can you beat this run in 10 minutes or whatever?
Dang.
And if you could beat it, they were giving you like a swag pack of it. It had like a figure of the main character, and then like not only was a figure, there was a plushie and like a physical copy of the game, like all kinds of crazy stuff. Like,
awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to buy that one only because I own that game like 3 times already.
Right,
I love
right.
it. It's such a fun game.
Yep, that one is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and the Twitch integration's awesome with that game.
Yeah, that's another one.
I love when you get to the big treasure chests, like the big ones where the chat has to type out the words, and you're like it's throwing all this stuff at you, like these monsters, and chat's like typing away, and they're making mistakes, and they're like, guys, you need to do something about this right now. Please, and like they can't type. Or
yeah. They're all like trying to type so fast, it's just like full of typos, so it does nothing. Yeah. You just see it like.
Or when you do the upgrades, and chat can sit there and like, oh well, we're gonna do Dex, and you're running like an int strength build, and they're like Dex, and you're like, no,
yeah.
You
just wind up with like this garbage build just because of everybody else putting their input. It's like playing Dark Souls, but like with other people watching you. You just wind up with a build that sucks.
Oh,
just put points in that.
They can change your points.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, Devolver had a bunch of cool stuff. Like they had Trek to Yomi or whatever the new one is that they're working on. It's like Trek to something. It's like Kurosawa based. It's like a side scroller.
Okay.
Samurai like adventure thing. It's all
cool.
black and white. Looks awesome. Like looks hella awesome. You can get the demo on Steam. Pretty fun. That was a cool one. They're Mixed Pixel 3 they were showing off. I don't know if you guys play Mixed Pixel. They're a point and click adventure series that they've done. They're pretty crazy and they get all over the place.
I haven't played that one. I know they've done a couple of point and clicks like that, but
yeah. They had one more that I can't remember that and the cool thing was like all but their big game that they were showing off that one. They made like these little arcade cabinets for each of them.
Oh, that's so cool.
That was really cool. But then the big one, they actually had like a little theater kind of setup. So you're sitting there playing on a big screen, was Cult of the Dead Lamb. I cannot wait for that one. So that one, you're like a dead lamb, somehow gets resurrected, and you have to like get all your followers going, and it almost looks like a Don't Starve.
Okay.
Like the way it animates and you run around the world and everything like that, but you're like getting followers and you're building a cult and you're fighting other cults and everything. Sweet. That's one of those like crazy Devolver like pocket picks that just looks excellent.
Nice.
It's gonna be good. So I can't wait for that. That one looks like super amounts of fun. And then if we move around a little bit closer to that was Intel. Intel had a huge booth.
Oh, really?
Obviously showing off the new technology.
Right.
For like the 12900K. And like, dude.
They show off any of their graphics card stuff or?
No.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Dang.
I was so disappointed. I was like, yo, what's the deal with the graphics cards? And they're like, well, we can't really talk about it. I was like, that's bullshit. I want to know about AV1 capture and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. But they had a stage, and yesterday afternoon, we actually caught the ending of the speed run they were doing of Elden Ring.
Oh,
they had
really?
a dude do level 1, all demigods.
Wow.
So, like, dude literally made it to the end in, like, 2.5 hours. Like, we only caught, like, the last half an hour, but, like, yeah. Dude, watching him fight some of those bosses towards the end, it's like, if they touch you, you're dead.
Yeah,
and they never get any. Perfect. They don't get hit the whole game. It's just.
Well, it's like, he's fighting Godfrey. And then when Godfrey turns into, like, Horror Lamu, or Horlu, after you like fucking break his armor off. Like he's sitting there, and I was talking about this with with Jeremy. It's like, could you imagine just being the boss? Like you're like this big badass boss, like guy who's like conquered most of the world and everything. And comes his little peon, like you're getting ready to wind up, and the peon's just spinning in circles. He's just doing 360s in place. And as you go to swing, the peon just rolls under your arm. You're like, what the son of
Where'd he go?
And then you get stabbed in the back. Yeah.
I did watch the other day, a guy went in like level 1, like wretch dude, and he fought Melania.
Yeah.
But well, hold on. He did no rolling, no jumping, no dodging, no healing, no nothing, 0 hit damage. He just like, he'd like walk up and then be like, okay, right now. And he'd walk back 2 steps and just not get hit by like 30 attacks, just like a flurry. It was crazy.
When you can break down Souls, you can break down Souls games. Like, that's just it.
Oh, yeah, this guy was playing with, like, a calculator next to him. Just like...
That just makes me feel, like, humiliated, because I'm like, oh, dude, I'm, like, the type that dies, like, 20 times before I figure out a pattern. Yeah. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Like, you can get any of us who played games for years and years and years, and we're all pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But then, like, you have people that are just, like... You're not even godly. Like, you're something else. You're like a...
So
word
like,
I'm looking for.
Secret technique that the speedrunner was actually talking about, I forget the guy's name, was like he was sitting there saying, he's like, yeah, and some of these just don't lock on. Because if you lock on, the camera does like weird stuff all the time. And it doesn't matter what Souls game you're playing. Like it just does weird stuff and then you can't actually see what's going on.
Yeah, actually, I remember
that's
that being
what I've been doing lately.
One a lot. I preferred not locking on a lot of the time because you could do like that thing where you can get around guys easier by not locking on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you have to always like kind of go around them like this. If you don't lock on, you can just walk straight and then go around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And like not to mention like Elden Ring's like way worse about that with like camera doing weird shit compared to the other ones. Because everything's moving faster and you have jumps and all this stuff now. Like
there's a lot of really big enemies.
Yeah, and they like to jump way up high and break the camera, and then when they break the camera, like the camera's just lost.
Right.
Like, it's pretty irritating.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Souls camera has never been notoriously good to begin with, but yeah, you factor in like all these other things of like huge bosses, open world. It's like, yeah, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah. But no, that was really cool watching that guy do that. But then like other times throughout the day, like Thursday on the stage, like right at about noon, they did a full liquid cooled build, like start to finish.
Really?
Yeah, like right on there, like 12900K. Like in the KF2, like the nice one.
Oh, nice.
The like $700 one. Like they had that. They had custom blocks from like EK and everything, and they were doing hardline tubing, bending the tubing and everything on the stage. Like, damn, that thing's nice. And they were like, they were doing like raffles for all of it, or not raffles, giveaways where you had to enter.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Like they had like 15 PCs at Intel.
Wow.
That were like 12900 and a 3090 Ti. Like it was like holy shit.
Oh, man, that makes it even more baffling that they didn't bother to show off their video cards. It's so confusing.
They bring all their stuff and they're just like, we're not going to talk to them.
Yeah, that seems really weird.
Well, I think the thing is too is like, what is it? The first actual desktop card is like Battle Mage.
Arc Alchemist, I think.
Is
Alchemist?
No, it's Alchemist and then Battle Mage.
Correct.
But like they've already said, and where it is that Alchemist is just going to be like a 3070 mid range.
Yeah, at best mid range.
It's not like they're not aiming for the high end,
right?
Yet. Like that's like they're not even like they were saying like they're not even going to aim at the high end stuff till Battle Mage comes out, which is going to be Gen 2. So
right,
with that probably won't be for a couple years at this point.
Yeah, and I get like they probably don't want to show that off because it's like compared to like a 3090, it's like the fidelity is not going to be there.
Well, that's the thing too is like they're just starting with graphics cards, so it's all coming. But yeah, no, like that was cool. They had some cool stuff. They had crazy prints that they had people do, like crazy art, and they turned them into mouse pads.
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
cool ones. And if you look it up on like Intel and stuff like that, you can see all the cool stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, like the coolest thing, and like I was just standing there and like kind of creeping the people out. They had like this whole area set up behind the booth where it was streaming, but they had like high end server racks, and like they had like 30 computers in there. Like they had like this like weird cubicle kind of setup going, but it was like all glass on the sides. And it was full of stuff like people editing, people running the streams. Like it was like a full TV studio production in the background.
Jeez.
It's like it was cool to just watch it and see what everybody's doing.
Right.
Very cool.
There's that one guy that's like, who
like,
is that? Like, Get out of here.
Meanwhile, here I am looking at everything like bricked up.
I was
like,
gonna say,
yeah, computers.
That's usually the thing that's most fascinating to me when you see those. Like, I don't really care. Like, you know, when they show like the demonstration, they just have like, oh yeah, one guy up on stage playing. To me, it's more interesting to see like, oh, I want to see like the 30 guys back there with all the hardware that like makes all this like prototype software or whatever they're trying to show off run. You know, it's like, oh,
Dude,
that's cool to me.
They had 2 server racks in there, like fully populated with
That's
stuff.
nuts.
And the server racks had RGB. Like,
Wow. Dang.
Like, it was like, oh my God.
They
guys.
went all in.
Yeah, like there was some hella cool stuff at Intel. And
Oh, that's good.
just kind of showing everything off. And then there was a couple other spots just doing like custom built PCs and all the cool stuff. Yeah. And then there's so much stuff that I'm trying to catch up with. Dotemu had a booth,
Oh, cool.
which that's really funny that Dotemu used to be like a big site for downloading ROMs.
Yeah, that is really strange. Yeah.
And now they're becoming like
They're like an actual publisher. Yeah, that is a weird transition, but it works. I mean, they're putting out some good stuff.
Yeah, like real talk. Their new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is it Shredder's Revenge or whatever it is?
Yeah, that looks
that
legit.
side scroller. That is awesome. That's so much fun to play. Like,
oh, did you actually get to play it? Nice.
Like they had it at the Dotemu booth. They had it at the Discord booth. Like they had it. It was like at 5 booths. It was that big.
So is it like a not a remake, but they had the classic Ninja Turtles game, right? The side scroller, you know.
Yeah, where you move up and down. And left, right,
it's very similar to that.
Yeah,
but
it's like a beat 'em up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new one. Looks excellent.
Nice.
Plays excellent. Feels excellent. Like, oh man, that game. Like, I'm
dude,
so excited to play it right now.
Like, dude, when I had a Super Nintendo, like I had 3 games. I had like this weird Mario teaching game, Super Mario World. Actually, I think I also had Lawnmower Man. It was weird. And then Turtles in Time. And dude, Turtles in Time got way more play time than any of those games combined.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, mine was it had to be like Super Mario World.
Yep.
Super Metroid.
Yeah.
And like Mortal Kombat 2 or whatever it was.
Yep.
And those were like the 3 that were just like on the repeat list.
Oh, yeah.
The other games like, oh, I'll play that here and there. Like Cliffhanger had Cliffhanger. I played that a lot. I keep hoping that they like put it on the store on the Switch.
Right.
Or not the store, but the Super Nintendo.
I
was like, I played that so much I could never beat it as a kid because it was just like too hard.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping as an adult I can play it again.
That was weird too. Yeah. When I went back and actually played Turtles in Time as an adult, and I was like as a kid, I remember like dying so many times, and then I'm like playing it, and I'm like, I don't think I died like once. Like I was like,
he's just like cruising through.
It was. I don't know whether it was like just like, oh yeah, I'm like able to piece those memories as a child together with like my knowledge now of like how games work, and it was just like, yeah, just throw guys all the time, and you will win.
Well, it's like Metal Slug and Contra. Like it's not as hard as it used to be. Like it's still hard, but like now it's like easier. After years and years and years, it's like, oh, that's the pattern.
Right.
Whereas when we were small, we used to just try and brute force all the patterns we learned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to jump over the cannonballs and stuff. I just want to go.
Yeah. Whereas now we're kind of like at that age where it's like, oh no, we want to understand how it works and we want to, we can figure it out. Whereas like as a kid, it was all about just mash A faster. Like that's the solution.
It reminds me of like anytime I hear Metal Slug or anything, it reminds me of Broforce.
Oh, Broforce.
Yeah. I've been wanting to play that one again.
That's a good one, yeah.
That's such a disappointing game though, because like the port to consoles is so bad.
Oh, true.
Like if you play it on PC, it's fine. Like even with multiplayer, but like the console port is so bad, like constantly dropping frames and like freezing.
Really? That's disappointing.
And from what I know, they never fixed it. They might have, but from what I know, they never fixed it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Like I remember when we played it years ago, and we played it with a couple of the others. Like it was fun, but like, oh my god, just freezing, dropping frames. Like the game wasn't even programmed to run at 60 FPS. It was programmed to run at 30, and it couldn't hold 30.
Wow.
And it was like because of engine issues, not because like the game's too taxing. It's just
right. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever played Broforce, it's just like your typical 2D kind of side scroll.
Yeah,
it's not like crazy hard to run.
2D pixel art, like,
right?
I don't even think the fans turn on my graphics card if I boot that up on the PC. Yeah. So there's that, and there's like a bunch of other things. I'm trying to. Oh, what's Trek to Yomi? I'm looking up the list here of what all was on the floor.
I was gonna say I've heard the name Yomi before, but I couldn't like you said it first, and I was like, that sounds right, but I don't know, so I wasn't gonna try and correct you.
Yeah, dude, there's so much there. Another neat one was Demon's Mirror.
Okay,
that was cool. It was kind of Kind of like almost like a Bejeweled Candy Crush looking thing, but like RPG.
Oh,
but
okay.
not like a phone game, like on like Switch.
Right.
So,
Yeah, like classic Bejeweled, like you get on like
like
PlayStation 2 or whatever.
More ramped up and like more stuff going on in it. Like that one actually looks pretty cool. It's like a little pub game like that. Obviously, I'm looking up more. There's so many good ones.
Yeah,
just gonna look up, and I can't remember all the names. Tinykin was the one where you're like the small dude. That was kind of like the Pikmin.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. One that looked really cool was No Place for Bravery. It was like a Norse hyper light drifter.
Oh,
Like didn't quite play like hyper light drifter. Looked like it though, but like everything was Norse. Pretty cool. There was a silly one there that was like in the classic of SimCity and all that stuff. Ooh. It was a city block builder. You're only building one city block.
Oh yeah, city.
Is it like a tower game where you just build a, you just build a
classic like Ute Tower or whatever. Yeah, you just
whatever
like building the skyscraper.
But you're just kind of building stuff and like you can design the inside of restaurants and stuff like that.
Cool.
Like micromanaging, just kind of silly. There was World Championship Boxing Manager where you're just like managing
the boxing manager.
Yeah,
dude, I know it sounds really stupid, but I actually love like any of those like sport management games.
Yeah.
Like, dude, every time we boot up Gran Turismo, I always think like, man, I really wish they improved like B-Spec from Gran Turismo 4 because that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I just wish it had a little more depth to it.
The same booth that had that had like a wrestling RPG.
Oh, really?
Kind of like you get the characters lined up on each side, and it looked kind of like a Final Fantasy. I didn't play that one. Huh. It looked like it, like an old school Final Fantasy lined up. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. I'll probably check that out at some point in the future because it just looked like extra dumb.
That's the criteria. It looked extra dumb.
A fun one that I enjoyed that I did sit down to play was Curse to Golf.
Okay.
On the topic of like golf indie games, you play as like this dude. He's like playing in a golf tournament, and then like all of a sudden, thunderstorm comes out of nowhere, and as he goes to swing, he gets struck by lightning and killed. Gets turned into a ghost, and well, guess what? You got to play golf forever.
You gotta play golf forever.
But that you're in like a 2D world, like Mario or something like that, and you're golfing through a course like that. That was really fun.
Oh yeah, what is it called?
Cursed to Golf.
Cursed to Golf. I'll have to check that
out. There was that one. Another one that I saw was Sucker for Love. That one. Okay.
Oh.
This one was like.
I remember getting a picture a couple days ago, and he's like, "I have to know."
Yeah. So I sent Alex's picture of the booth. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Because it's like, imagine you're walking down the aisle in like a video game convention or like an anime convention, and you just look to your right, and all of a sudden there's this like life-size cutout of a mind flare from like D&D, but all done up as like an anime waifu. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, like her face is just like.
What is going on? It's a dating sim where you do like all these different things to like date Lovecraftian horrors.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But like it's like fully like they went all out on the animation and everything. So it's like, all right. I understand where you guys are going with this. I probably won't play this, but like I had to know because I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? Because it like a mind flare.
Yeah,
like a mind flare. It's like what? Who's gonna turn a mind flare into a waifu?
Yeah. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Sorry.
Yeah. There was a Lego had Brick Tales there.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like fantasy, but like you could build everything and you could do all this other stuff. Like you could build all this crazy shit in with Legos. Kind of like a Minecraft.
Oh, okay. So kind of less like the conventional Lego game.
Yeah. Bowser, what are you doing?
I'm just letting it happen, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Doing it. I know for as far as Alex goes, there was a couple there that looked really interesting that were like Stardew.
Oh, I know. It was the Outpost game, right? I can see it on you.
There was One Lonely Outpost, which was really interesting. It was like Space Stardew. Like you land on a planet and then you have to like terraform a planet.
Cool. Yeah, it looked like that. I was interested because like it seems like you might be able to get like mechanical items and stuff too.
Yeah,
like very like sci-fi stuff. So I'm wondering if they have like some sort of auto farmer or something or
right. Yeah, the automation side of things. That's
exactly
always fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like that one looked really cool. There was a lot of cool things going on in the trailers in that one. I didn't sit down and play it. But and then there was another one, and I didn't catch the name of it. I don't know. I don't know if this is actually what it is, but it looked like it. But it was like you had like a Minecraft world, but you're looking at it top down, and the player was like a 2.5D, like as in like Octopath Traveler or like Triangle Strategy.
Oh, right.
And it looked like Stardew. Oh. But it was like your character was like a full 2.5D model walking around, and like they had 3D animation. So like if they turned, like the whole pixel would turn. Like the whole pixel. So like it was really, really stylized. I didn't catch the name of that one, unfortunately, but that one looked really good.
It'll
like,
come around eventually.
Alex.
I'll see it.
Yeah. And I'm still looking up, dude. There were so many good ones that I just gotta find all the names from. Turbo Overkill by Apogee. So aka the old school Duke Nukem guys.
Oh, yeah.
So Turbo Overkill, right? FPS. This one's awesome. This game is lit. Like, I don't know if you guys are gonna play it. I don't know if you like crazy hyper FPS like Doom Eternal crazy.
Yeah.
But like I'm a sweat this game out. Like you sit down to play this game, and after 5 minutes you look like you just worked out for 5 hours. It's so crazy.
Awesome.
Because it's just like crazy fast, like all the time. Obviously you get a bunch of games, like get a bunch of guns, not games. And you can upgrade the guns and everything. And like one of the ones, and here's a really different take. You know how like all those old games, like you have alternate fires and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I could shoot rockets, or I could shoot 3 rockets out of my gun, or this will have a lock-on mode. Yo, the minigun, the alternate fire is a flamethrower.
Dude!
Wow. Oh, that's not at all what I'd expect.
Yeah, no,
that's
you're
cool.
like, you're like playing it like, this is like weirdly appropriate, and I love it. Like, I am all about this.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So is that like, did you see that one? Like, was like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that one,
is that the one that's like, it's more modern? Because I remember, I think it was Apogee, or like the Apogee guys, like again, the Duke Nukem team, where they somehow took like the old Duke 3D engine and then like made a new game with it.
I don't know if it's.
I don't remember what that game was called. Because it was basically like, they just like resurrected the engine, made it support like modern resolutions.
Yeah.
It's like, here it is.
But this thing, you kind of ran around it more like a Doom Eternal or like a Doom 2016. But it was like low poly design, so that was really cool. And it was like actual low poly, not like pixels or anything like that, or pixel art for like the weapons.
Right. Yeah, like
but
that
one of
kind
the
of
coolest
like bit
things,
crushed art. Or
yeah. Obviously everything's like cyberpunk, like that whole style. Everything's neon everywhere. It's raining, and like you're in the city. Looks like a scene out of like what's it called? 2049. 2048. No. The movies. Oh, God, I can't think of the life of me right now.
Blade Runner?
Blade Runner. Yeah. Blade Runner.
You said 2040 something.
2049.
I immediately went to Rush
title.
2049. I was like, nah, that can't be. That's not it. But
looks like that, raining.
They're like Cloudpunk or something.
Yeah. And the coolest thing, though, and this was the thing that I thought that was the most unique and coolest about this, was, you know how like you get dashes or whatever or anything like that? Well, your dash is actually done by your leg because you have a chainsaw leg.
Oh, yeah.
So as
you
you
just
dash
balance on it, and you're...
Yeah. So as you dash, you just like, you can cut enemies in half and everything. Like if you hit anything, it just like explodes.
Oh, that's
or at
cool.
least bigger stuff doesn't, but like all small guys just explode.
That is definitely like a twist on like, no. Dodging doesn't give you an iframe. It lets you kill people. Like, oh, cool.
But then it's same vein as like Doom or like the newer Dooms where you get armor and ammo back.
Right. Yeah, so
like,
it's going to encourage you to do that kind of brutal shit.
Yeah, and it's encouraging you to move fast and do all this crazy stuff.
Right.
Another one that was really cool in like that FPS style was Exophobia. That one is like looks like an old Doom, but you're like in space.
Oh.
Like I don't want to say like a Metroid, but like it looks like Doom, like old Doom 3D games.
Oh, okay. Like in space, do you mean like 6 degree?
A sci-fi setting.
Oh, okay.
Not 6 degree.
I immediately went to like, so like Descent, right?
No, not quite. Yeah, Descent would be lit, but think more like kind of like Metroid or going through a space station or like spaceships, like
gotcha.
in space.
Yeah. So sci-fi.
Yeah, like different levels, but you're like sci-fi setting. That's what I should have said.
Yep.
Another one that was really interesting that looked fun was Gory Cuddly Carnage. So
Okay.
you're a cat that rides a hoverboard.
Okay.
And as you're doing tricks and everything, you're beating people and stuff up like it's Devil May Cry. So you're kind of playing. It's like, what if we mix Devil May Cry and Tony Hawk?
Huh.
It's kind of cool. I'd play
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, obviously neon, cyberpunk, like all this crazy stuff that just looks cool. Another one. This was at the same booth as Curse of Golf. Was Last Hero of Nostalgia. You just play like a wireframe, like just a wireframe. But it's like it's almost like a Dark Souls, but you're just a wireframe, and you get armor, and you have like armor on like a wireframe.
Cool.
It's really weird.
So then you just become a living armor because you're just nothing.
Yeah. It's like that skeleton meme where like the skeleton all of a sudden goes and starts drinking the milk and is impervious.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. Oh man, there was so much good stuff there. I'm just trying to
Nice.
look up more. There was over at Limited Run Games, they had a new one. It was like Cow the Kangaroo. That was like a new like 3D platformer, kind of like Crash. That looked really fun. But that one you were kind of bouncing around, doing all the other stuff, 3D, all
Gotcha.
the cool stuff. There was Dome Keeper. That was like build a base, kind of like a Terraria.
Oh, okay.
That one looked really interesting. I didn't play it. Oh my god, there's so many here. I'm just trying to look it up. Like, there's a couple of them that I can't remember the names of, and I just want to look in. Oh yeah, Justice Sucks.
Okay.
Tactical vacuum action. So what do you think?
That
this
one
is?
I need.
Hey, I know
need
you know
that.
this. You know this. What do you guys think that is?
Oh, Jesus.
Someone tactically using a vacuum, like as tactical as humanly possible.
I am somehow thinking like a tactical viscera cleanup detail, but that can't be right.
So you're both pretty close. What it is?
Oh, okay, shit.
What it is it's you play as a Roomba, but you're doing it's like, what if Solid Snake was a Roomba?
Oh, that's awesome.
So you're like sneaking around as a Roomba and you're trying to kill all these guys, but you have to like knock over lamps or shit and do all this other stuff. And of course, in true like meme fashion, you can get the gun, and when you get the gun, it's just like taped to the top of the Roomba.
Perfect. Yep.
Yo, that game was so silly, and it looks like so much fun, and like that one was just like excellent. Excellent. There was Super Marxist Twins, which is like it's Super Mario Bros. But like,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
how Russian can we get it? Like Super Marxist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty silly. That one had a really, really fun time with it. There was another one that was on the other side of the aisle from it called just Beats and Shapes. That was like Geometry Wars.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
But like all like chiptune and stuff like that.
Nice.
That one was pretty fun. That's a pretty cool one.
Geometry Wars. That's a blast
Yeah.
from the past there.
Yeah,
Jeez.
right?
When was the last time you heard that?
Yeah, really.
There was Industries of Titan.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was like-
I've actually been following that one a little bit.
Okay, so you know, yeah, because that one's like, you know, building an empire.
Yeah,
all that
big
stuff in
city
space.
builder kind of game, and
Yeah.
the visual style looks really cool.
Yeah, that one looked really cool. I didn't look into it because it's not really my type of game. I figured that'd be something.
That's
you'd like,
definitely
though.
more my speed. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, look.
Frostpunk, Anno, those kind of games are
Yeah,
like my jam.
and of course, right underneath is Industries of Titan. Their city block builder. I'll have to show you guys the demo for that one later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much everything that I've found on this list so far. Like, there were some other ones. There was this one where it was like Return to Tomorrow or something. No, it wasn't like a Groundhog Day. I know it sounds like the movie. I don't think it was something like that.
It's
I can't
either that
remember
or
what
like
it
some
was.
kind of Terminator game.
It's no. It's
Yeah.
not even that. It's
Oh, okay.
I have it on my Steam wish list because I was looking at it. It looks really fun. It's you play as a dude who's like wrongfully imprisoned, and you're trying to get out, but it's like a whole RPG. It's like a JRPG, like a classic JRPG, like a Final Fantasy trying to escape prison,
Huh.
like break out of prison, and then like you can do stuff to make friends, get friends to distract, and all that other stuff. I wish I could remember the name of that. But yeah, pretty much like that's about it. But yeah, like
Sweet.
I had so much fun there. I just wish like we could have all gone and like experienced it and wandered around and like gotten to do stuff.
Yeah.
There
Next
was
year. Next year for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down.
I'll go to Boston for just about anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually not much of a con goer these days, but I would go to something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I don't want to do, but I've always wanted to do, was like the bring your own PC setup.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it at that because there's too many hands and too many people walking around.
That's I mean, not to mention the fact that it's like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like my system, it's like, dude, sometimes I barely trust like moving it like from one part of the desk to the other, and without like breaking something on it.
Well, it's like when you have multiple computers and they're all like $2,500. You're just like, I don't really want to bring that and put it in a public place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get like weirdos kind of.
Yeah, they had the LAN parties and everything that was real cool. They were doing a semi-pro tournament for Splitgate. That was awesome to watch.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. Do you guys know what Splitgate is?
Yeah. It's
Nope.
It's like a Portal.
Portal and Halo.
Portal and Halo. Yeah. I was trying to like.
It's the one everybody wants me to play, but I'm like, I think I'd literally actually just croak from a heart attack if I played it one time.
It is nuts. It is crazy.
Watching the tournament was
I suck at it. I'm absolutely horrible at it just because like I'm pretty okay at Halo, but I'm absolutely horrible at like that kind of like puzzly Portal type stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm the guy who's getting killed by like people doing all the crazy shit.
It's because it's all map knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like obviously like there's a whole big thing to Halo and like arena shooters.
Yeah.
But like that Splitgate is like map knowledge more than it is an arena shooter.
Right.
Like I remember watching one game and like there wasn't actually like any crazy feats of skill like watching some of the shooting, and that could just be because it was a semi-pro tournament. But like watching it was like, no, people were winning more from map knowledge and knowing how to place portals and jump people.
It is crazy though. Like if you ever watch like even just like those stupid kind of like montage highlight reel kind of stuff, like the things that go on in that game is just crazy.
Oh, dude, that game
is so cool to watch.
That is one of those games that gets out of hand so fast.
Yep.
And if you don't know what you're doing, it spirals. It just snowballs and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you lose by an even larger margin. Fun game, but like dude.
I am horrible at it. So.
Yeah, same here.
But I respect people who are really good at it. Like that is a cool game. Like,
yeah, it's rad. It's fun.
Yeah.
But like, holy crap. But no, it's also cool to see how far that's come.
Oh yeah.
Because like I remember playing that. It's been in like early access for like 2 years now, almost. And last time I played it, it only had like 2 maps and like didn't. Have
it was pretty kind of stripped down. You know, I think they were more trying to make sure that all the mechanics worked rather than like introduce like maps and content, and weapons, and that sort of thing. But
I mean, it didn't even look as good as it looked.
No,
either.
Yeah.
No, they were doing that, and then they had the main stage for like as usual the Omegathon.
Okay.
Which, like, I think that'd be really cool if we could go as a group and then get someone in the Omegathon. But that's like, you know, they only pick like 16 people out of the whole crowd to do that. And it's like all the challenges, all the games. Like,
oh, jeez.
Like one of the ones they had on like yesterday afternoon for the Omegathon was like basketball. Like, no. Like, you're going to go play a game of horse.
Oh,
like real life horse and playing basketball.
Wow. Dang.
Like, instead of like, what?
I said, well, I lost.
Yeah. But like, it's like, yeah, we're gonna play Mario Kart, and then we're gonna like speed run the first like 3 bosses in Dark Souls, and then you're gonna go play basketball. You're like, what?
Wow.
Basketball? What? Yeah.
Like a weird triathlon.
I feel like
that's what it is.
Like they're like, all these gamer kids, like they don't even play basketball. Make them do something. Yeah, I know. I'm just playing out there, but still, it's just like.
Yeah, it's definitely like why is that in the mix?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely lots of cool stuff. What's going on, Bowser? Bowser came to chill and say hi. Hey, buddy.
I know he doesn't really like me.
Oh, he's chilling right now.
Yeah, he's cool right now.
What's up, dude? Yeah, but that was cool. Obviously, panels. One panel that we didn't get to see, and I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to see it. It was just like the way everything was lining up on the schedule. And it was like, well, we can go see Mega 64, we can go see Pro ZD. Like, I like Pro ZD, but I'm not going to go watch Pro ZD over Mega 64. But his panel, and I don't know if you guys know Pro ZD, he did a lot of the skits.
I actually do not, yeah.
Got real famous through Tumblr and everything, wanted to become a voice actor. But his whole panel was like, I'm going to rate your husbandos or waifus. Like, I'm gonna berate you on how good your choices are.
Oh, jeez.
So just knowing like that dude and knowing that he wanted to become and chased it real hard, and the whole process is documented throughout his YouTube and everything over the years. Yeah, That was cool. That I know that was gonna be a fun one to go see if you went to see it. Yeah. Then Mega 64 was cool. Obviously, it's a Mega 64. Like,
Yeah.
They showed a couple things that were like different. There's like they made like a fake Nintendo Direct and they were just making up games. Like one of the games, like, check it out, this game's coming in August, and it's just like you just see him change like the microphone and just goes in the background. Scrunt. Like, and it's just like it was like Bean Boy Sue, Bad to the Bean or some shit like that. It's just like dude, like typical Mega 64 fashion. We're just rolling, laughing at all this stuff. It was a grand time watching them, just seeing what they're talking about, and then freaking So
You just dropping that title of Bean made me think like, yeah, Killer Bean game when?
yeah.
That's so dumb.
Oh, dude, one of the ones they had in there was called Shitter's Gamble. Wait.
Oh, no.
It showed a case. Oh, it was like you're in a restroom with like 10 stalls and all the doors are closed.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's like, which one do you go to that's empty?
Oh.
I've got to find one.
And they immediately made the joke where it was like some like indie dev who's like high on sniffing their own farts, and they're like, guys, this isn't funny. This is a true story.
This is
is supposed to be an important artistic version of a retelling of a true story. Like, yeah. Dude, oh my god, it's Shitter's Gamble.
Nice.
That was so funny. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the PAX talk. I wish we could chat more, but you guys didn't go.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
I didn't even really follow it this year, but I had you went. I think my friend Taylor is. How many days?
He went. He was posted on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he might
it's still
actually
up today and tomorrow.
Yeah, he might actually still be there. I think he's not. I mean, he plays video games, obviously, but he's more like he's just a natural con goer.
Yeah.
So like any sort of convention he can like get his hands on, and that's like within his range, he will go to it.
Well, I used to do the same thing.
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
We used to go to dude. I'd go all over the country.
Yeah.
Like from Anime Expo to like all the PAXs. I never got to do RTX. I wanted to do RTX. We're like, honestly though, this year if they do MagFest, we have to do MagFest. Like I'm gonna be real with you guys. If we had to pick MagFest or PAX, MagFest, no questions asked, just
All right.
MagFest. But yeah, that's just the nature of that and just how that goes. MagFest tends to be a lot more chill, and it's all about like it's more about the game music. So like they have
nice.
concerts at night after all the panels and stuff by like different artists, and like they'll have like artists from actual studios come over. Like they had the
Nice.
guy from Ridge Racer come over one year. And the guy from Ridge Racer turns out, he did the music for Katamari.
Really?
So he's like, he was supposed to be doing a concert for Ridge Racer, and he's like, yeah, hey guys, can I actually like do some of my other works? I don't want to do just Ridge Racer. And the crowd's like, all right, play us what you got. We're here for you, what you want. And he literally rolls into the very next song of like the opening theme of the original theme of Katamari. And the crowd goes wild. Like it's just
And
like,
the crowd goes wild.
Yeah. That's awesome, though.
I mean, it's just like there's a lot of stuff like that goes on, and then like they have like the video game orchestra go there and all kinds of stuff, and then
I know I'm a total sucker for that kind of stuff. The dorky video game music, like I love it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
it's
put it
so
on
good.
Spotify and drive around to like, I'm going to listen to the Super Metroid playlist, like,
Yeah.
or whatever game.
Like sometimes it actually bums me out when a game uses like licensed music. Cause I'm like, you could have had like some cool like your
Yeah.
own stuff, you know?
well, no, that's what's really cool about MagFest is that they do all that stuff and they endorse all that, and then
Nice.
MagFest almost always has like a massive free play arcade setup. But it's like massive, and they bring machines over from Japan
Cool.
and like
That's
all this
awesome.
other stuff. So like I was telling Jeremy about it because I was talking about this obviously with Jeremy, is like one of the ones they bring over from Japan is like it's like a rhythm game where you're washing clothes in a washing machine. It's a touch screen and it's a circle, and you have to like swipe across, and then you have to like spin it, and there's 10 buttons around the edge, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
You're like,
hitting
I
the
need
button,
more soap. I
you're
need more soap.
swiping, you spin it, and you're just like, dude, it's like only Japan could make a rhythm game about washing clothes in a laundry machine. Like, but yeah, they do all that stuff. They have tournaments for about everything, and then like they have like a vendor hall area that's like big, like as big or bigger than PAX East is.
Oh, okay.
But it's just vendors. Like it's just like people doing stuff like artists, stores.
Get your swag and your
doing
merch
retro
and stuff.
Not even so. It's not like you're not going to see Tiny Build. You're not going to see
Right.
Devolver. You're not going to see like any of these bigger studios there at MagFest. I mean, you might see some of the indie ones, but
Right.
like it's more like no. This is just a celebration about it. And then in years past, AGDQ would either start or end on MagFest weekend, depending on when the schedule all panned out. So like the cool one is like you'll see it end on MagFest weekend.
Oh.
So like everyone, like if you're not watching the ending of GDQ, you can go right out on the floor of MagFest and just do all that stuff. Yeah, I've been wanting to do MagFest for a hot minute, but yeah, speaking of going cons, dude, been everywhere.
Yeah.
We did Dragon
I've been
Con.
everywhere, man.
Yeah. Haven't done San Diego Comic Con, like that one's a pain. One of my friends got it in a couple years when he used to live down there, but like getting tickets to that is so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like BlizzCon used to be next to impossible to get in. I've only heard that from friends. I'm not going to go to BlizzCon. I don't give enough of a shit to go to BlizzCon.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're down the hole anyways. But
I was saying,
Yeah, they're done.
With everything that's been happening to them, they got to be just giving those tickets away at this point.
Yeah. And people still aren't going to want to go.
like red shirt guy's got to be so disappointed. Like, you think he's still going to show up at the next one? He's there every year. Pretty sure. I think he still exists. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's like having a Groundhog Day with no groundhog. Isn't it?
Exactly. Like he's going to be in the Q&A line, and they're going to find him like, oh, yep, come on up.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, even if I was a red shirt guy, after hearing like some of the stories and all the other
all
shit
the
going
stuff.
on, it's just like, no,
Yeah,
good.
that's a tough one too. The whole Blizzard thing. I mean, this is probably something that's like really dumb. Like everybody else has already mentioned it and whatever. But it's like, like I missed World of Warcraft by like miles. Like I was not into that at all. But it's like as a kid, like. Yeah, I mean, Warcraft 2, StarCraft, like
awesome.
in the Windows 98 days, like those were must-haves. And just to think like, oh yeah, so like the company, the small, like really like quality-focused company that did that is now this. And it's just like, yeah, that's weird. But I mean, that is kind of the nature of the beast, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic. There's an old Super Best Friends clip from their podcast years ago. Someone wrote in a letter saying, hey, you can never go wrong by the 3 Bs. This is like a decade ago when this email was sent to the Super Best Friends cast, before they became Castle Super Beast. But the joke was, it was like, you can never go wrong with the 3 Bs: BioWare, Bethesda, and Blizzard.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it's one of those where it's like every year that only gets funnier.
Yeah.
Because everything you hear, like, Blizzard harboring rapists to the point of where like one female employee literally killed herself, committed suicide.
Oh, shoot, I didn't hear about
like
that.
in a hotel room at like a convention or like a trade show, some shit like that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And like they were harboring the people who were like raping her, and then like shit comes out that it's like all the old board at Blizzard. Like they were going to these conventions and shit, or trade shows, whatever the hell they were. I forget what it was. And they had the Cosby room.
I remember the Cosby Suite
and like
controversy. Yeah, that was
all,
and
of
that was, of
stuff.
course, after like the allegations came out. That was not like, oh yeah,
yeah. You hear that from Blizzard, and then BioWare, obviously.
Yeah, they took a very hard.
BioWare got crunched to death by EA. That's the one thing I've heard said in multiple various forms, and some like it started with someone wrote a story. I forget if it was like Polygon, IGN, whatever. They talked to a dev.
Yeah,
like when BioWare took a turn for the worse, and it was when Dragon Age Inquisition was successful. And it was one of those where like
I was gonna say
that game was so rough in the state before, like there was a saying where one of the developers came out and like the worst thing to ever happen was Inquisition was successful, because when Inquisition became successful, that's when it became like crunch everyone forever.
Right. Yeah, and I was gonna say that's like the EA train. I mean, even DICE. Like I'm not a huge Battlefield fan, but it's like, yeah, watching that game kind of spiral into this lack of quality just because they want to keep churning. EA's just pressuring them to churn out a release.
Yeah, just keep churning it out, and it sucks, and then it's shut down studios to go help with this and go help with that, because like let's be real, Visceral made Dead Space, like
that's a
Dead
tragedy,
Space like 1 and 2 are like I don't know if they're like number one on the top of the list for me, like most favorite games ever, but they're up there.
They're classic. I mean, I would say like of that generation, those are pretty classic games.
Oh, dude, like those will like forever be in my top 10. Like I don't think I could ever nail like a favorite game down because like it's always changing depending on the game.
Yeah.
Some games come and go.
It's just too hard to pick one.
Well, and it's like the other thing is like no matter how good a game is, there's always like that one thing where like that's kind of stupid, but it's like usually the good outweighs the bad. That's how you come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
It's like how much do you like this over how much do you hate this?
Yeah, but like that's just like just to show though, like Space 1 and 2, like they have a permanent spot in the top 10 for me.
Yeah,
like I love those games. They're so good. And like it's like I love them. Like Alex loves RE4.
Oh, yeah, don't even get me started. I've literally been thinking about RE4 and like Metroid while we're having this like favorite games conversation.
Dude,
yeah, right.
Yeah, Super Metroid's another one on that list, like forever.
Oh yeah, permanently. Or like Prime, like whew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Metroid Primes for sure.
Just the Metroids.
That was
all of them.
Yeah,
I remember when those came out.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to back on the PAX topic? Metroid Prime. How much you think it was going for at some of these boost selling games?
Boy,
120.
Wait, like just the lone game or that one where it was like the 3-pack?
No, just Metroid Prime 1 on GameCube.
Metroid Prime 1.
Open, not like pristine condition. Alex was close, but...
What was your guess?
120.
Yeah, that 100, 120?
It was 95.
I believe pretty close,
wow. Yeah.
Well, I almost got my hands on a copy of... It was the Super Metroid. Sealed in the package.
Oh my god!
Well, wait a minute though. This was years ago, and it was like $80. And I was looking at it in the case. I'm like, I don't want to spend $80 on a game like I'm not going to play. And then like now, if you want, it's like hundreds.
Yeah, it's weird.
I was like, I should have bought that 10 years ago when I saw it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole game rating, same with Pokemon rating, it's all like a fucking scam.
It's also weird to think though, because it's like as kids we own these games and we're like, we didn't think anything of it. It's like those people who, like, in the 70s bought muscle cars, and they're like, that thing's not collectible. It's a Dodge Dart. Who cares?
Yeah.
And it's like, nowadays, it's like, dude, it doesn't
Duster.
even matter if it's a crappy muscle car. The fact that it still exists makes it valuable.
Yeah.
Well, so, on that topic, one of the panels we went to was talking about retro games and the retro revival that's been going on for the past couple of years. What are your guys' thoughts on, like, disc rot? Shit like that.
That sucks. Yeah, that is...
Because... spinning media can only last so long. You can only be spun around so many times.
Yeah.
Truth be told, any form of like digital media, you always have to kind of like failure's going to happen. Like disc rot's really bad because that was like any disc. Like it doesn't matter. It could be music. It could be a game. It could be a movie. It doesn't matter. Like they all suffer the same fate. You know?
I mean, let's talk about it for a minute. Like, dude. Final Fantasy 7 on disc. Like if you have a disc copy of that, like the game's like 25 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like how much longer are those discs going to last?
True.
How many times have you played them? How many times have they spun around? And like obviously like discs will last if you're not using them, blah 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 blah, but still like how long is that going to last? And as stuff starts falling, like dude, what is there and still in working condition or like sealed in the box, like it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. No, that's very true. So, I mean, some of that stuff, like especially with the discs, it doesn't even matter whether it's in use or not. A lot of times it's just like if it's crappily made, like the disc will start to corrode.
Yeah.
Like you'll see those, it kind of almost looks like it's yellowed or something. And it's like, that's just, it's like oxidation of like whatever that material is in the disc between like those plastic layers that's corroding. Yeah. And it doesn't even matter how many times it's been played. That just happens.
Yeah, it's like looking back on it, like a couple years ago, I was in a game shop in Vegas, and dude, they had a Donkey Kong Country SNES like bundle pack still in the shrink wrap. They wanted $300 for it. I was like,
woo!
Yeah. I was looking at it. I was like, man, that's gonna be worth some money someday. But I don't have $300 to spend on that because I was trying to buy a house.
Right. That is weird too, because it's like. People our age are getting to the point where it's like, oh yeah, we have more disposable income than we did before. So it's like all of a sudden, like the price that people are willing to pay for this stuff is going up. Not like, the classic one to me is like the old school NES consoles, like just like a regular Nintendo or a Super Nintendo. Like dude, Nintendo churned those things out in the friggin' millions. Like they're really not.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not worth squat. But people are willing to pay that price for them, So the average price of them goes up, and then people see that on like sites like eBay, and they're like, well, now I know what I'm worth. And they'll start charging more.
I think the thing is, too, is like, how many of them got destroyed? How many of them are just lost in boxes somewhere? Because, dude, you all know.
Oh, yeah.
We all go looking for that garage sale, and all of a sudden you find that box, that Halo box, and you're like, oh, my God.
Yeah, speaking of that, my Super Nintendo and all the games I had, lots of really good ones, I just, like, sold for, like, $35 at a garage sale.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, back then you're like, I could go buy another one if I wanted.
Right.
Like, well, no big deal. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't play it anymore or whatever.
When you showed me the other day your Dreamcast, it was like, dude, I remember picking up a Dreamcast from EB used for $20. And it was like, yeah, it works. I mean, it's loud. You know, I don't know if you ever used a Dreamcast, but God, that disc drive is freaking noisy.
That thing was like a yard sale special.
Yeah.
It came with 2 NESs in the same box in like 50-something games.
Nice. Yeah. It is weird how that's happened. And I mean, you know, attrition certainly hurts those older consoles, but a lot of times, like, that stuff was super stout. Like, it was just built really well. Like, the plastic might be dinged, so, like, visually it's not in good shape, but, like, dude, if the circuit board's intact and none of the caps are leaking, it's probably fine.
Oh, yeah.
Just
like,
blow
they're
out the
dummy
cartridge.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have one. I got to go look and see if I can find that too.
That'd be cool, yeah. I mean, probably needs the contacts cleaned or whatever, but I mean, at this point, you know, that's kind of a given.
I mean, the thing that just kills me is like the whole rating system. Because you have to remember the guy who started that was able to get away with it this time to where he's not going to jail for it. Because if you actually look into the history, he started it through Pokemon cards and started bringing it over into video game shit and everything like that. But the guy who started the ratings with Pokemon cards and everything, like, turns out he'd been to jail a couple times for like doing that, like doing similar scams and shit like that, like rating and everything. And then like all of a sudden he just kind of found a market where it worked. And no one was none the wiser. And then now here we are. You know, when you see a copy of Mario Kart at PAX in a 7 out of 10 condition for $500.
Holy crap.
Jeez.
I have that. I know I have that.
Like in the box, sealed in plastic.
Okay, not in the box, sealed in plastic.
Okay, but wait. But it's in the box, sealed in the plastic wrap still. And like the only thing you can see is like one corner's bent in. Just a little bit.
Oh,
From years, it's sitting in boxes, moving around and everything like that. One little corner's bent in. 7 out of 10.
That's crap.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't believe any of that because, like, a lot of times you even go to a store and see something in the box. It's like, dude, the corner's already bent. Yeah. What does it matter?
I don't remember what the old N64 games came in. Like,
They kind of look like that.
Yeah,
those
the
boxes
box
right
of
there.
Turok
okay.
Yeah, kind of like a rectangular box, a little shorter, I think, than like a VHS.
they all
tape.
came with like a security thing, right? And they'd take it off
Well,
at
that
the
was so you
counter or
couldn't steal
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think that was later too. I mean, early video games, it was like, they just shrink wrapped it, and that was it. They maybe put a sticker on the front.
I remember Sears years ago at the mall.
Yep.
There was that little counter, and I'd always be bugging my mom, like, oh, I want this game or whatever. She's like, I'm not getting you a game. Like, we're clothes shopping. Like, I'm like, but
games.
Yeah, honestly, my old school trick was Toys R Us. I don't know why. I could always find whatever video game I wanted there.
Yep.
Well, dude, Toys R Us always had like the best selection. The problem was they weren't the cheapest.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, of course
That's
not.
exactly what it was.
And like that's why they always had the selection was because like no one went there to buy stuff. Everyone went elsewhere because their video games were not cheap.
Yeah, but because they charged that little bit of premium, like they kind of always had stock. So if everybody else was out, you always usually had good luck. Like I remember when the Wii was like hot shit.
Yeah.
And my poor old dad had to go there to reserve a Wii for my sister. And they were like the only place you can get them. Like GameStop was cleaned out. I don't even think EB might have still been a thing then. They were cleaned out. Best Buy, all the big electronic stores. But it's like, Toys R Us. They still had them. You had to pay quite a bit because you had to get the package deal or whatever. But it was the guaranteed way of getting it.
Which, speaking of package deals and everything like that, Target and Salem had PS5s this week.
Really?
Yeah, they had PS5s on the shelf this week.
Huh.
And they're gone right now before you've even uploaded.
Oh, they were gone in a day. No, like they were gone earlier in the week, but like I remember seeing stories about it. It was like, Targets are starting to have them. So maybe maybe scalpers will finally get fucked.
No, probably not.
I can only hope.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. Everything's an investment. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not saying that. Like, the thing is like, once Walmart has them on the shelf and Target has them on the shelf, the scalpers are just going to get fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be one of those where they're going to be selling them at a loss.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
yeah. Yo, one last thing before we close this out.
Oh, yeah.
There was a booth at fucking PAX that had like multiple fucking scalp switches. They had Monster Hunter Rise, the bundle pack, for $600.
Jesus.
Holy crap.
Like straight scalped in the plastic. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's not even a year old.
That's rough.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I was going to say, I know, like, I don't really follow too much of the scalping thing. I just know that, like, it sucks. But I know, like, especially Nintendo crap. Anything Nintendo is, like, a target.
Well, dude, it's a Switch with, like, a printed cover on it. Like, the Joy-Cons look different. And then a copy of Monster Hunter Rise.
Jeez.
Like, it's a good game. That package is not worth $600.
No.
I don't even think the
that's
Switch
ridiculous.
is worth $300, especially with the Steam Deck right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, Switch is worth maybe $150 to me, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it was already kind of on the lower end of the spectrum when it came to console performance anyway. I mean, that's Nintendo's shtick, right? Like, make the most out of a little bit of hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. But
That's like been their thing since the Wii, really.
Yeah, it's just kind of disappointing, though, because, like, you could make such better games.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if your console wasn't built on, like, a 10-year-old phone processor.
And you see it also hurt, like, when they do a console exclusive for it, too. That hurts them, too. Like, what is that? Not Lego Star Wars. The one before that, it was like a Lego City game.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, like, you play it single player, and I guess it's fine. But, man, you turn split screen on that, and it's rough.
What kills me the most is that it's, like, if
That's
you
what
look
you
at
were
Switch
drooling.
games, anything that's not first party and 3D, not like a 2D side scroller or whatever the hell, but anything that's not first party, it runs like garbage.
Yep.
Struggles to hold 30 FPS, blah, 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 blah. And, like, that's what kills me. Is, like, everything runs like crap. It's almost to the point now where it's like, especially with the Steam Deck, it's like, all right, time to get the emulators rolling.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Time to get the emulators rolling, because I guarantee you that Steam Deck, anything that the Switch can't handle at 1080, like, all right, 720, 60 FPS, because the screen's only 720p. But anything the Switch can't handle, the Steam Deck will emulate it and handle it probably.
Yep.
Like, well, that thing isn't built with ray tracing in mind. Like, Digital Foundry's been doing some stuff. Like, you can have some ray tracing options running on it.
Yeah. I was
And,
going
like,
to say, like, if you're willing to, like, adjust your resolution expectations accordingly, like, yeah, you can get it working. Because, you think about it, and it's kind of like a lower mid-spec PC. Don't lick my clothes. That's where I draw the line, man. You could lick my skin, because I can wash that, but please don't lick my clothes.
Hey, weirdo, stop.
No, it's
All
fine.
right. Yeah, I don't know.
Fine.
Steam Deck's coming. I can't wait to get mine. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to play around with that a whole bunch. I can't wait.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. There's PAX.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
I almost got a new video card for my computer, sort of by accident. My cousin bought, because he's an idiot. He's not one of those scalper types, but he's I don't want to say a collector.
Yeah.
But like, he buys stuff knowing that it's valuable, and then, like, just hangs on to it probably too long so that it loses its value.
Yep.
And he's managed to snag a couple of RTX 3080s, and he was like, "Oh, you want one?" And I was like, "How much?" And he's like, $1,000. And I was like, it's not like, it's a good video card. If my card was older, I might have sprung for it.
It's a good video card if the 4080 and everything weren't coming out later this year.
That too. But
Like-
I mean, even if my video card was like a couple of years out of date, like if I was running like a RX 580 or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. Even then, I'd probably just limp along, because the number of older games I have to play, like, you don't really need, like, I mean, I got a 5700 XT. I know it's no, big swinging card nowadays, but I don't know. It gets me by just fine. I'm a 1080p 60 FPS gamer, so I don't worry about 4K and
Yeah, I mean,
any of that.
I'm on 1440p.
Yeah.
It kind of kills me, especially with the way I stream and everything, because like 1440p is kind of treated like a bastard child, which is really irritating. And it's just like the 4K performance isn't there enough yet.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to jump up from 1440p, but I don't like looking at 1080p anymore.
Yeah.
And this comes from like a lot, and I mean a lot of competitive Call of Duty and Halo and
anything
Apex.
like that. Like when it comes to whether it's your resolution or your refresh rate, as soon as you get like spoiled by that next step up, you don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Like I had a buddy who like recently transitioned to like 144 hertz monitor. So now he plays at like that refresh rate.
Yeah.
And it's like he can't go back to 60. It's not the same.
The second it goes under 100, it's unbearable because you can feel it. Like they're like, oh no, you can't. You can no. Like you can literally feel it when it happens.
Yeah, not to make the shitty Rick and Morty reference, but it's like that sequence where he's like, "Oh, you want to know what level is? I'll show you what level is."
Yeah.
And then he's on it, and then he goes back to the door. He's like, "Oh, I hate it. Oh, I want to go back." It's like that is what that is.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly how it feels. And like, I just I'll jump to 4K when everything is 60 FPS with like high graphics on. And then, like, all competitive games, I can run at over 100, period.
Yep.
Like, obviously, like, really competitive games, I can turn it down. It's a competitive game. It's not,
right.
It's not.
Yeah, they're meant to be kind of a little lower spec, so that way everybody can run them.
Yeah, they cut a lot of corners to make them run better, too. Like, Call of Duty and everything, there's lots of corners cut just to try and make it run better.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though we just talked mad shit about Blizzard, I mean, Overwatch was famous for that.
Yeah.
It pretty much ran on a potato.
Same with Fortnite and stuff like that.
Right.
And speaking of like the whole 4K thing, like Bank had a booth there. Their new 4K like 30-inch monitors are fucking sweet. Like they're 144 hertz, but yeah, no. Like,
that's again, not to. I feel like we're kind of running out of time, but I'm going on another tangent.
Just wrap it up here real quick.
All right.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because the other thing with these bigger resolution monitors and stuff, it's like monitors have also gotten a lot bigger since like since when I started playing. I mean, back when I really kind of got into PC gaming, like a 19-inch CRT was like the gold standard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you had anything bigger than that, like that was like I remember I had a 24-inch CRT, and this thing was a freaking monster.
Weighs like 200 pounds.
Oh god, yeah. It was like it was basically a TV, and like that was incredible. But it's like nowadays, it's like I have a 27-inch Dell monitor. It's stupid, I know, but it was a deal on Best Buy, and it's like man, that like you really do have to like kind of crank the resolution on those in order to get them kind of sharp looking,
Yeah, like that's why like I can't go below 1440p or 1440p on a 27-inch panel.
Right.
Like if I'm gonna go below that, it has to be like full 1080p, like minimum 60 FPS locked.
Yeah.
Like even at the absolute worst, it has to be locked. And like that's like if it's like 24 inches or smaller. If it's anything over 24, it's like I just see it all.
Yep.
I just see it, and it drives me nuts.
Yep.
Years and like before anyone thinks, oh, you guys are crazy elites. No, like this is what happens when you play games on PC long enough.
Yeah,
like,
again,
it just happens.
Well, again, especially if you get spoiled to that better quality, it's like that's what I want now. Like, what's the point?
But yeah, I know you guys are like normal.
I feel like we kind of like
I'm getting a history lesson over here.
I don't know. I feel kind of bad about that.
We'll get you guys PCs going at some point so you guys can understand.
Well, he's got one. I built you one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's. I mean, it's not the most kick-ass thing, but it's pretty kick-ass.
It's pretty kick-ass.
Works, plays games. This is a really good job. So, anything? Any last shout-outs? Anything coming out? You guys working on?
Shout out to my boy Bowser for giving my arm a bath. Really cool.
A bath.
Dude,
yeah.
Chill. All right. Anything from you guys?
Nope.
You're not working on anything?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to be working on the Suburban this week as long as my parts come in. Hopefully they'll come in. It's all waits on that.
You making videos or content or?
I'm going to make stuff on Instagram. Finally
That's cool.
Yes, which is Caddy Killjoy 666, all one word.
Yeah.
Nice.
666.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got anything, Alex?
Someday I'll have a life. That's what
yeah, no, I hear that.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out videos here, what I'm going to do this week. I'm still working on that fucking toolbox. Like, I haven't even pulled it out of the box yet. So I got to do that. It's just kind of been with life and everything going on. And PAX. PAX was like, oh, fuck yeah. I took the days off of PAX like 3 months ago.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to be working on that finally. Maybe I'll make a video game video, something. I don't know. Maybe upload some gameplay or something. Actually stream for once. I haven't done that in a hot minute. I've been wanting to. And then obviously you guys can find me at Grizzly TV on everything except for my YouTube is Grizzly, and that's GRIZZLEA. And so Insta, TikTok, and all that, it has TV on the very end. Just
like
kind of
television.
Yeah. It's kind of the nature of how, social media platforms are and names being taken and blah, 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 blah. So.
Yeah. The classic any RPG game problem where, oh, that name's taken, so I guess I got to add something on the end of it to make it different.
You know what's really awful? When you go on the random button to make that character and you're like, taken, and you're like, no.
How? How?
Like, Rasmada Dedenius? Like, how is that taken?
Yeah.
I'll just put a 3 on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about stuff now where, like, you just do it and it just gives you a number at the end.
Yep. Although I do hate that in any game where it's like, see, we're supposed to be winding down, but I'm opening up a new topic. But like, anytime you play like an RPG and it's like, thank you, like, Smiling Phoenix 363. Like, you don't say that out loud. Like, I can't imagine dialogue that sounds like that. That's weird.
Just do the old Pokemon thing where it's like, you just name yourself like, oh shit, So it's like, oh shit, I got $300.
Yeah, or like the Halo PC thing, like where you name yourself after an inanimate object, like a lamp, a table. You were killed by a table.
All right. Oh, get out of here. We love you all, and we will see you all next week. I hope everyone has a great week, and see you all later.
Stay safe.
See you next time, guys.